Hey, welcome friends to another Road to the Apocalypse. I'm going to spend a little time here looking at the road map again. I'm just going to Deadlinger, road map. We're now into creatures. So I've got, yesterday we talked about general zombie behavior and AI. So we took care of that. So now let's take a look at dismemberment, gore, and ragdoll. That's something I see come up in comments a lot. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we actually have here a section. It says the gore and dismemberment system is planned and very early development has begun. The next step is getting hit detection on specific limbs. There will be a future future option to minimize and turn off gore once it has been implemented. All right, so looking at what they have there, I think that's good. That's what a lot of people are waiting to see. Some kind of blood. Right now the world is sanitized. There's no blood. And when you think about zombies, that's what you expect to see is blood. Gore. Now, they could hold off on gore if they need to, but I think some people are ready to see some kind of blood splotches or something when you get struck or when you strike a zombie. I think people are ready for that. But what they currently have, though, is, I'm going to say, not the best hit detection. They have mentioned that they've made some improvements. They are working on it. They're aware that they need to fix the hit detection. So, we're aware of that. But that will be the first step to really kind of customizing the gore. So when they can really have a good system for where the hit, like the head, then like maybe when you hit, blood will come shooting off the head. Arms. See, this could lead to all kinds of stuff when you talk about dismemberment. I mean, can you imagine hitting the head area, boom, you decapitate. Age of Conan has that. You do a good move, bang, you're chopping heads off. I've seen games nowadays like that Rise Son of Rome. I mean, you're cutting arms off. That would be good if they can get that set up in here as well. Yeah, there's certain things that won't kill the zombie. You can stab it in the arm, shoot it in the chest, and they say that doesn't hurt or kill the zombie. But it would be cool if maybe you could hit it in a leg, and now it's a crippled zombie and it's crawling on the ground. You can chop an arm off, and what would be cool, it just makes me go back to like The Walking Dead, where it's got Michonne and her, zombies that she had falling around. She cut their arms off so they couldn't attack. Now, I don't see them going the path of where you can cut their jaw off to prevent them from biting, but I could see you could cut the arms off and then they can't scratch at you. That's something. I don't know if anybody would take the time to go through that. Like, I'm just chopping limbs and stuff, and now I've got a zombie that's just without arms and legs sitting on the ground. But to have that ability would just be kind of cool, I like that. And if you could just whack the arm or just the legs even and have it crawl after you, or if you did just get the arms and now it just walks around and the only thing it can do is bite you, that's interesting things to think about. I would like to see that. Now, ragdoll. I don't know how much of a ragdoll effect they currently have. Things stab and they just kind of fall over backwards. So ragdoll, to me, when we talked about the physics they want to implement, so far currently most attacks are pretty much kind of a left to right kind of a thing. So the hits would be nice to see how they cause the zombie to impact, and when it dies, it kind of flies in a direction that you hit it. If they come up with some different animations for killing stuff, maybe you'll stab it and it will fall backwards. Lots of things that they can do with ragdoll at some point when they put those in. But they have, I keep calling it the framework. I really have nothing else to call it at this point, because this is like 10%. And by framework, this is maybe a very poor framework, but at least it's on the board. Like, that's one of the thoughts they want to include. And they do have hit detection currently. They've already talked about physics. So this would just be waiting for them to take it up a notch. Throw in some blood. Throw in that you can chop a leg off. And that's just talking about to the zombies. Imagine how sucky that would be for you, the player. Maybe not sucky. Can you imagine the role play opportunity to have your leg cut off and then still be fully functional? Like you got to crawl or something, but you could do it. Maybe in some of their character customization, you could end up with like a peg leg or something, and now you got a prosthetic leg that you got to crutches and roll around and survive the apocalypse. Maybe you'll lose an arm. Maybe that will affect, you can't use two-handed weapons, but you're out there with your sword, one hand chopping stuff. It's interesting. It might be hard for you to use a rifle with one arm. Maybe you'll just be limited to pistols. But those things would make the game really interesting to put those in. So the sky is the limit with their dismemberment and gore system, and I am really anxious to see where this goes. Now, server side, they say you'll have the option to turn some of that off, which I think is okay, because I know at some point you want your game to appeal to a lot of people, and I appreciate that. It would be easy just to go the way of the route and say, well, it's a zombie game. You're supposed to have blood and gore and stuff like that. But I still like to maintain that a successful game is a game that has options. And if you, in order to have a wider audience play it, needs to put in an option for no gore or no blood at that moment, then, put it in. I would rather have people playing my game than very few people playing it because it has gore. So I appreciate the option for that. It'd be nice to see how much you can and can't turn off with that. So 10% leaves us a lot to go off of. I'm excited to see where this is heading. I'd like to see someday if this matches up to any of the thoughts that I've shared. And, share your thoughts. What would you like to see as part of the dismemberment, gore, and ragdoll system? If you shoot the zombie in the head with a shotgun, is it going to blow apart? What constitutes as a happy gore and dismemberment for you? All right? So, yeah, we're all coughing and hacking in the background. We're still sick here at Carlson headquarters, but we're on our way to recovery. Voice is feeling stronger. Sinuses are still killing me, but I look forward to recording some new Walking Ed episodes this weekend so you guys can start watching the apocalypse. I'm super excited because every time I look at their Twitter feed, man, they are talking more and more about Build 13. Like, it is coming. If you follow the forum, they've pretty much have said a few times that it would be like the week after next, the week after next. But like any developer in history, it gets pushed back. But I'm getting so excited for the things that I read in the upcoming stuff that, hopefully by the time I get the Walking Ed episodes up and running again, Build 13 will be out. I almost feel tempted just to wait until Build 13 comes out, but I won't. I want to get back in and start recording for the game again. So stay tuned, share your thoughts and ideas, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great night.